everybody! I'm in a different location tonight, and so I'm hoping that my internet is not going to give us trouble in here. I might turn it off on my phone so that we can have a more steady connection, but we are in the process of cleaning house and making room for company coming. So I have taken down my normal area that I craft in and have barely been able to do any of it. Hi, Kayla. So if you pop in, say hello, and I'm hoping that my iPad here will let me read comments while we're going. Otherwise, I might have to stand up a little bit while we're going. So we are in my guest room, which is where I have most of my craft stuff. Outside of our living room little corner, I have my grandpa's old hutch that I finished that, hi Miles, my grandpa's old hutch that I refinished, that I keep a lot of my craft supplies in, but I also have a pretty good amount in my guest room here. Hi Lynn, hi Shelly. So I was pretty sure I was going to be able to go live tonight, but Jeff took our oldest to play games with him again, so I had our youngest, so he may pop in. I have already tucked him in, but that does not mean a thing. We also might hear my dogs wrestling in the other room, so that's one perk of being in a closed room in our guest room, that it is not a huge deal that the dogs are wrestling in the room that I normally would craft in. So I have a couple of projects that I have already prepped that are ready for us to work on tonight, and then one that I got started on but didn't get a finish, so it may be us winging it by the time we get to that card. But I'm super excited about the two that we have started, and tonight I wanted to feature this stamp set, P.S. You're the Best. It was one of my favorite stamp sets in the new catalog that is not in a bundle. I'm really trying to not have any orders, and I cannot believe this is probably the longest that I've gone since I became a demonstrator that I have not made an order. And it's really hard because I'm trying to save up for on stage in November, and our family reunion is this weekend, and so any little extra penny pinching is helpful, but it's very hard. So a lot of the things that that I want from the new catalog are more expensive, and so this was one that was a stamp set that I was able to choose for doing the scrapbook challenges for our team page. So I'm super excited. It just got to me this week, and two, possibly all three cards we are going to use this set on tonight. So I have not even used it yet, but I have the pictures in my mind of what I want to do. So we're going to just see how it goes, and I'm perfectly confident that we're going to love them. So I'm going to try to flip you guys around without making you really sick, and then we'll get started with our cards tonight. So just 1 second. Alright, let's see. I tried to have my little mount set up for us so that we don't have a ton of shaky, but I'm sorry if this is not exactly where we want it. Testing with my lighting. Since this is a new spot, I have not, this is a different table and everything. This table used to be my dining room table, but we were able to get a different table from a friend when we moved to Omaha, so this one became my craft table that mostly just my Cricut sat on it for a long time, but since I have not pulled that out to use in ages, I now have it set up inside of our guest closet. Actually, we took the doors off of our guest room closet and we put the table right inside the closet, so it's just wide enough that it goes in the door frame of our guest room closet. So I do not use this closet for clothing. I use it for housing this table. So this is what we are going to use for our first card tonight. And, excuse me. And so it'll be featuring this stamp set. And so I have taken the little flower and dear friend from that, and I've put it so that it's going to go just like that on our circle there. So I have cut out our pieces for this stamp set just to kind of move the process along that, and it has kind of because I cut out all the pieces and prepped, I've noticed that when I do that, usually I remember to add a piece for the inside of our card. And so when I'm usually just making them on the fly, I don't often remember to add that piece to my cards. And so I actually remembered this time. So I thought I would show, if I can find it quickly, where this stamp set is in the catalog, just to kind of give the images that they used with it. But I did not look it up beforehand, so you'll have to look along with me. So my my list, it just keeps growing and growing because I'm not making any orders. So it has also really caused me to narrow down my list as far as the stamp sets that I keep coming back to wishing that I had move up on my list, and the sets that I thought I wanted more so in the beginning may not be the ones that I end up getting first. So that is something that has been really helpful for this process, that I really thought that I was going to have a harder time, and I probably passed it already. I probably saw it in the back. I have not gone through my catalog as many times as there it is as I thought I would. So this stamp set is on page 48 of the new catalog, and they have used it in a couple of different projects that are super cute. And I really like how they used that typewriter in the background with those alphabet little alphabet, which that is probably one of my favorite stamps in there. So I'm going to try to use that in one or two of the cards that we work in tonight. So I love that it shows the different the punch or framelits that you can use that help. They've already paired up the one that they think works best for those sentiments. So that is the 1/4 inch circle punch. So they tell us which one is most coordinating with it. So those are a little bit closer look of those cards that they made with that stamp set tonight. So I thought that we would use some of this super pretty designer series paper from the Share What You Love specialty designer series paper pack. So that is the paper that we're going to use tonight. I love the thickness of that cardstock and the fact that it has so many different colors incorporated in it, that they're just we can just pull so many different colors out, and I love that it goes with so many. So I'm going to wheel my table around, or my chair over, and my iPad is being super, super slow. So hopefully I can get it to work, or I might have to stand up to check on comments. So just bear with me. What's everybody up to tonight? Yeah, the dot paper is super fun, Shelly. We just got done with it's kind of like Vacation Bible School, but our church calls it Kids Camp. So we had that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of last week. And then we always have Kids Camp Sunday, the following Sunday after Kids Camp gets over. And so we had that this morning. So it was a very full morning. Not that most Sundays don't feel full, but this one seemed a little bit more busy as far as needing to get kids to different places and by specific times. And they always get to sing a couple of the songs that we work on together in Kids Camp. So when you have 30 or so kids that you're trying to get on the stage and then off the stage at a certain time, it makes you a little bit more nervous, I suppose. That's probably not the right way to say it. Oh, I hope he feels better. You guys have a long trip to come see me. I'm so excited. So all of my family are coming on Thursday, I believe, is the day that everybody's coming. So we are getting our house ready. Everybody's not staying with us all the whole time, but they will be staying with us for at least one, probably end up being 2 of the days this coming week. So next Sunday, I will probably not be doing a live. We will be finishing up just after our family reunion. So I will try to post a project maybe, or maybe go live in the middle of the day just to kind of give a little update on, maybe introduce you to some of my family. So I'm just pulling up on my iPad here. I'm learning that when you have a really super old iPad, it doesn't always do what you want it to. So I think that the colors that we are going to use for our stamps here are, I'm going to use the Tuxedo Black Memento ink and for our image. And then I might pull out there's my video. I'm going to make sure I have my volume turned down so that we don't have to listen to me. So, all right, I'm thinking I'm going to get out a blender pen to color in the flowers in the background. So that's one thing I did not grab beforehand, so that's not too difficult. So let me see. Hi, Miranda. So we're going to take our stamp, the Dear Friend, with the flowers, and like I said, I put the stamps on the circle where I wanted them to go while I was prepping for the card, and I kind of want them to go in the corner there, so just like that. So I'll raise it just to show you a little bit closer, so that way it's kind of balanced corner wise. So that is going to be our image there, and then I'm going to take probably let's do Rich Razzelberry, and I will pull out Old Olive, and for the other color, let's do Grapefruit Grove. I I think I did put that one away. You know, you never know if that's going to get put away the right place or not. So let me grab my Stampin' Mist so that I can clean my stamp really quick. Because sometimes I remember and sometimes I don't. And so when I remember, I need to use it. Okay, so let's see if I can move that one away. And we'll just color this image really fast. My layout design for this card is actually inspired by our Pink's Hamper team, who we have challenges weekly, as I've told about the scrapbook challenge, and I've posted those to my page here. Every Friday, I'm in charge of posting a scrapbook challenge to our team page, and so I like to share that on this page as well, just in case anybody wants to participate with me in that. So I really love making and designing those challenges, and that is really what they have been recently, with especially cleaning and moving stuff around and having kids camp, and there's always something going on. So I have just realized that they are exactly what they are called. They are a challenge for me to come up with the design, but not only come up with a design, but also like challenge myself. And so I love that that when Robin and Sheila asked me to be a part of that challenge again, that it can be a challenge for me as well. So what I'm doing is I opened up our Grapefruit Grove and our new ink pad after I just kind of give it a little press there, and I try to get the ink in the base there. So I just take my little blender pen, and I'm gonna start off at the bottom where the color can be a little bit more, a little bit darker, and then I will fade and blend it up to the top so that it's a little bit lighter on the top. So this little flower is going to be super easy, and this card will go pretty quickly for us. So I'm going to do the darker, and then I'll come back in and do the lighter on the top. But you just get a little bit more color, and then you can fill in the rest. That is something that I really love about the, hi Laura, about the blender pens, is that you can use them on any project with any ink color, and all you have to do is run it until it comes clear with that color, and then you can use it with the next color. So I love that about it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm still trying to get it to load the right thing, but that's all right. I'll just keep looking up to see if anybody's made a comment or not, and it is not a huge deal at all if you don't have anything to say. So I thought that because I can't come live next week, and I had to cancel last week, we were super tired after our busy weekend. We got to have a friend and his kiddos come visit us, and it was wonderful. We hadn't had them out to our house before, and we haven't really had that much time to hang out with them one-on-one since, oh goodness, it's really sad to say this, but probably since college, that we've been able to just like sit and have a full evening where we just got to visit like that and hang out and stay up late after the kids go to bed. So it was super cool. So what I'm doing now is I used the Old Olive for the leaves there, and now I am taking our rich razzleberry for this cute little flower, and I'm doing the darker color in the corner there, and then I will use I'll just brush it upwards to give the lighter color for the tips of the flower there. And then we'll be finished with that part of the card. So that's super, super cute. And I only used one side of the tip of the blender pen, and now I'm just like running it clear on my grid paper here. And then it's ready for the next card. So that's super, super easy. Those blender pens are so inexpensive. I'm actually going to look it up for you quick. I think they're like, I'm going to even say that they're probably even closer to the $8 or $9 range, but they come with 3. So you get so much use for your money that they are an amazing investment. They are $12, so I was wrong. So they're $12 for the 3-pack of blender pens, and they are amazing. You can use them with any ink color, and I've not bought a new package in probably a year and a half, and so they last a really long time as well. So that is super helpful. So I'm gonna look for this one. I might actually use. So I have this pack from the Nature's Twine, and I think I want to use, let's see, let's use the Grapefruit Grove just to bring a little bit more color in. And what we're going to do with this is we will put our, sorry, I had to tell my phone that it's okay that my storage is really, really full and I can't fit anything else on my phone. I really need to clean it out before vacation. So I'm going to just take it in my hands here and do three times through. And then I'm going to use my little paper snips to snip it here. And I'm going to take my Snail Adhesive. Yeah, my iPad completely just closed out. That's how old it is. It says that it does not want to work for me. It is not its job. So we're going to put that with the Snail Adhesive on the, this is Tranquil Tide cardstock, and I have used our layering circles Framelits to cut out these circles there. So what we're going to do with this is we are going to take some Snail Adhesive, and I'm just going to kind of, let's see, I'm going to take our twine and just kind of loop it around kind of with the adhesive, and we're going to get kind of a little twisty on the back. So we're going to put those little loops on the back here. And then, sorry if I have to clear my throat here. Excuse me. I think I wore myself out a little bit too much from kids camp. So I'm in recovery. I got to take Friday off, which was amazing. And I hadn't had a full day off like that in a long time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep looping like that, and then I'm going to take some normal kitchen tape here, and I'm going to tape these down there. So that is going to be our little loopy. And the reason I put the Snail Adhesive down first is because it gives it something to stick to on the backs there. So we're going to put down one more piece of that tape there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some regular sized Stampin Dimensionals, and I'm going to put one there and one on the inside there, and then I'll do one there, and I'll do another one over here. So what that will do on there is just cause a little bit of interest to our card, and it wasn't perfect, and that is totally fine with me. I really don't, I don't tend to do a lot of perfect things when I'm creating a card. If I've worked on it or made it beforehand or whatever, it's pretty likely that I will make something up as I go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this layer. I'm just going to add some Snail Adhesive to the back of that polka dotted cardstock, and I'm going to put it more to the left of the card because that is where I think the sketch challenge, that they had a piece on that side that was longer, and then a piece at the bottom that went more across there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down my Snail Adhesive on the base where I want it, because when you're doing vellum, it is pretty likely that you're going to have your adhesive see through, and on this it's probably not too bad. You wouldn't be able to really see, but often I like to cover it up with my image that I work on. And so we're just going to put that down right on the top of that there. And so before we do that, I'm going to add our inside piece with a little bit of Snail Adhesive. And I'm going to put that over on the right hand side, just because I tend to want to bring balance. So if the front is on the left, then that's usually going to be on the right. So that way we'll have a space to write for our little note that we want to put in there. So nothing super fancy as far as adding stamped images on the inside of this card, but it'll do the trick. So that'll be the inside of our card. And then all we need to do for this part is take the backings off of our dimensionals. And I forgot to move my little trash can over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it kind of in the bottom little corner here. So that is our first card for tonight. So that's super easy and super cute. Which is right in my wheelhouse. That's right. What I love doing best is the easy and the fast. And so I'm gonna just really quick put my stamps away from this one so that I can use my clear block for the next card. So as you can see, hi Christy, thank you. Yeah, that dot DSP is super fun, and I love how the ink kind of looks like it's not in the circles. It's messy and I like it. So as you can see with my my clear mount stamps here, they are made with the red rubber, but I like to use my paper snips and kind of cut my image a little bit closer to where the stamp is. So I just cut around the edge a little bit just to give me a little bit more security as far as like not having those extra marks around my cards. I did not do it to this stamp because it's pretty good already. So this is the stamp that we're going to use on our next card here. So this is our first card, and now we'll pull out our items for the second card. I think I'm going to use some blender pens with this one, and we'll use our Memento again, but we're also going to do a little bit of embossing. Hopefully, I'm hoping that I can unplug my phone long enough to emboss here. So let me grab a piece of paper. Now this is the place where I wrote down the little sketch so that I could remember it without having a screen on. So we're going to use that as our scratch paper for the embossing. And I still have not been able to order the black embossing powder, the basic black. So I am going to be using our clear embossing powder for this, and so that this will, I'll give you a little bit of a hint as far as how you do that with the Memento and the Versamark. So we will be using both Versamark and the Memento ink. I just need to grab my Versamark here. So the trick with embossing that is that you, I'm plugging in my heat gun here. Oh, and somehow it got turned on. I'm so sorry. So the key to embossing when you don't have the ink color or the embossing powder color that you are wanting is that you use the ink color of your choice as well as the Versamark. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp our image. Whoopsie. That's the piece we want. So we're going to stamp our image in the Versamark first, and then the Memento Tuxedo Black second. So what we do is I will usually, with these bigger stamps, is I will take my ink and kind of twist them over the top, just giving them as much coverage as I can with that. So since the Versamark is going on first, it will not make my Memento, or it won't dirty up my Versamark pad with my Memento ink. So since we're using the Versamark first. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put it right there. I'm just going to press down kind of hard, just giving it a little bit of time to get coverage there. And I didn't practice, so we'll see how that worked. So that's perfect. So what I want to do, because I used the Versamark, I want to go on with my clear embossing powder right away. And I usually use quite a bit when I am adding my embossing powder. And I'm just giving that a good tap. And so you can't really see a ton on there, but you can definitely tell that it took the black shading a little bit lighter. So I'm just going to pour my embossing powder back in my container over here, brush off my area, and then I'm going to turn on my heat gun to the setting 2 and let it warm up just a little. And so then we will take our heat gun to our image. And so this one you will be able to tell fairly quickly when it changes because of it being so different. The clear you often don't get to see when it's changing, but that's one of my favorite things about embossing, is getting to watch the change as it's going. So this cute little typewriter was one of my favorite things about this stamp set. So I'm very excited to get to use it. So that is our stamped image, and you can kind of see the shine on there. So that is going to be our cute little typewriter. We'll let that sit for just a minute while I unplug my heat gun. And then we will do a little bit of coloring. So I'm using, I have not purchased the new Stampin' Blends in the new colors yet. And so what I did was I tried to pull colors out that were kind of either close to the colors that were in this designer series paper, which is from the Garden Impressions designer series paper in the 6x6. Super, super pretty papers with that one. So yeah, this technique is super fun. And it, I think embossing powder really intimidates a lot of people. And with the clear embossing powder specifically, I feel like you have a lot more that you can do with just one container of embossing powder, because you can literally use any of the inks that we carry at all, and get a whole different effect from it, depending on the ink that you use. So I also feel like the embossing really gives it, it gives you some boundaries a little bit more when coloring, that your image doesn't bleed quite as much, because it kind of is forced to stay in the dot or in the lines. So I am just going to do a little bit of a light, I'm going to use the light Pool Party. It was the closest thing that I could find that kind of went with that new seafoam green color in that designer series paper. I really loved how the blueberry bushel, I'm pretty sure that's the new one. Yeah, blueberry bushel, that's this blue base that we're using here. I loved how that just pulled those blue flowers out for that. So we're going to use, this is the back of a different piece in that. We're just going to use that as our little border for this one. But you can still see those really pretty flowers on both of those sides there. But I thought I would use, and I'm not even really sure if I'll use this one, but use this light Pool Party on the back of our paper here, and then I'm probably going to stamp a sentiment down. So we're just going to do it really, really light, and so much that you probably won't be able to see it a ton. But I just wanted to give it a little bit of a light color to the background of it. And these Stampin' Blends are alcohol based, so they don't often have a ton of harsh lines like markers do, which is one of my most favorite things about them. And you can buy them either in a combo pack or a single. So this Pool Party comes in both a single, which would be the light Pool Party, or the dark, as well as in a combo pack that would come with both the light and the dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take our light and just kind of brush it across here, and I might take our color lifter in just to make a couple of white areas on there, but you can see it a little bit. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought. So I just wanted to give that a little bit of interest there. And what I'm going to do with the typewriter itself is I'm going to take the more fine tip side and do the little knobs, and then maybe a little bit of the more intricate parts, and then, yeah, see, I love embossing that first because it really, it makes it, it gives me kind of a guide when I'm using the Stampin' Blends. It's kind of keeping me inside of the lines a little bit. So I'm going to do the outline to our cute little typewriter here, And then I will take I'm going to do all the buttons with the dark as well. And then I'll take the light. We're using the dark and light, so you could get this in the combo pack of the Smoky Slate. So we're going to use this to do our little buttons here. And because this is embossed, I don't have to stick quite so much in the lines here. And it goes pretty quickly when using these blends. They get pretty good coverage quickly. I always liked hearing these typewriters at my old school that I went to. I'm sure that the sound wouldn't be the best when you're trying to work, but I don't know. There's something therapeutic of the old typewriters, because I feel like it's such a lost pastime type of thing that we just don't have them around quite as much. So then I'll do the little space bar here just to finish up that dark Smoky Slate, and then I'm going to take the light Smoky Slate with the brush tip and just go over the other areas here. And I'm actually just going to take it and run it all over, even over the dark where I had used the dark, just to pull in any of that for color blending. So any that I may have gotten on the raised part of our embossing will be carried over, but it'll be really light even if that happens, so not a big deal. But this little typewriter, you could do so many different things with it. I'm really considering using it with my scrapbook layout that I will create for this Friday. I will be posting that on Friday, even though we will be at our family reunion, so be watching on my page for that as well. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to put P.S. and then let's see, where'd my paper snips go? So I'll just kind of show you what I do with my stamps, is I just kind of trim the area around the stamp just to kind of give me a little bit more, and that doesn't have a ton on the bottom that needs trimming, but just a little bit on the sides. And so I will use that with, I think I want to do Blueberry Bushel actually, because that's the base of the card. So we're going to do P.S. at the top, and I'm going to pull out my Blueberry Bushel, which I don't even think I've used it yet, so this will be super fun. So I'm going to open it up, slide it, still a little bit sticky from being brand new, and we will use the P.S. at the top, and then I'll try to decide what I want to do. I think I might do You're the Best, or yeah, not sure. So we'll do the P.S. So cute. In that Blueberry Bushel color. I'm going to clean my stamp off really quick, because like I told you, I would forget otherwise. So since I used that Versamark, I want to give that a good clean on that big image. So we will use our Stampin' Cleaner off to the side, and then we're done with that one. And then I think I want to do You're the Best. So we'll pull that one out. And does anybody have big plans this week? I know what Kayla's plans are. She gets to drive a super, super long amount of time. Oh, that's totally fine. Thanks for staying, Shelly. Hope you sleep well. You can totally catch the replay if you want to watch the rest. I'm going to try to put them on Facebook or on my YouTube channel. Hopefully tonight I can get that loaded up there. So I hope you have a great night, Shelly. So we're just trimming those edges from that stamp, and I'm going to put it on to the card here where I want it, and then I'll pick it up with the block here and then take it right there. Perfect, just what I wanted. Working. Oh, meetings are always hard. I feel like when we have meetings, it's almost more draining than a normal work day. Just because you feel like you should be doing something else at the same time as having a meeting. I don't know if that feels that way to anybody else. But I almost have to plan nothing else for me to do on the days that I have a meeting, just because otherwise I feel like I'm behind the whole day. So, I love how that blueberry bushel looks on top of that pool party with that cute little typewriter. Super, super cute. And that'll go really cute over the pink. So we're going to put these two stamps away here so that I don't lose them, since they're so much more tiny. And then while we have our stamps out, I think what I want to do is, excuse me, put this little flower on the inside. And we're not going to emboss this one since it's going to be on the inside of the card. But I am going to use the Stampin' Blends to color this little flower on the inside. So we will take our Memento Tuxedo Black and get our flower all inked up. So I'm going to do one there and one there. Just a couple of cute little flowers. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I think I want to use the, let's see, where did I put my cleaner? I think I'm going to use the blender pen again and use the lovely lipstick color that is in our pink here. So let me pull that out, and we will use that for our flower. So I'm going to open it after giving it a little bit of a squeeze there. And these newer ones are a little bit more tricky. I'm finding that they don't pick up the ink quite as much as the other one. You have to actually squeeze it a little bit harder. All right. So this is going to be for the inside of our card. And we're just going to start it off at the bottom and work our way up the petals. And then we will, let me see what color of green is used in that one. They use the shaded spruce for their leaves color, and I do not have that one yet. So we are going to use, we'll probably use the pool party, the light pool party in the blends, just because it is not too far off from that seafoam green that we could have with, that kind of coordinates a little bit. We'll use that this time. Those ink colors are definitely on my wish list though, especially the ones that I don't have yet. Hi Mama! I am just making a couple cards. Can't wait to see you. I'm so excited. My kids are not all that thrilled that they'll be cleaning this week, but we're going to use this pool party for the leaves a little bit, and then I'm actually probably going to pull in the Call Me Clover a little bit over the top of it, just to kind of blend that brightness. And actually, I think Call Me Clover is one of the other colors that they use. It doesn't have it listed, but it's a bright green. It'll work. So hopefully your week isn't too busy before you get to come. When you guys starting your trip again? I can't remember. Do you start at Tuesday? Yeah, so most of my family live on I have some that live in the western part of Nebraska, and Kayla's actually from Wyoming, so we'll just pull in that. I'm going to kind of speckle it. And then I have some family that live in Colorado that are coming, and then I have some on the eastern side of Nebraska that will come too. So I'm so excited all of us get together. Okay, that's what I thought. It was Wednesday, not Tuesday. So we will put this cute little circle on the inside part of and that looks cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Snail Adhesive. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm actually going to, one of my nephew's birthdays is tomorrow. So 3 years ago, he got to come on his birthday. But this year, the dates weren't exactly the same. So I am still going to put up my birthday banner, and we have some balloons that we have ready for him, and I got some water balloons and a game that I found at one of those Five Below stores. I did not even put that on straight. Silly me. So I found, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when I was younger, I remember having it's kind of like a ball that has a lot of little slits in it, and you could put a water balloon inside of it, and then you would pass the ball back and forth, and it would kind of click, and then you didn't know who it was going to burst on. So you put the water balloon inside of the ball, and you pass it around, and then as you're passing it, a ticker goes off, and then the ball will just kind of explode, and the water will get all over somebody. So I found one of those at one of the stores here, and I thought that would be a really fun activity for the kids to play with while they're here for the family reunion. So I got one of those to have that we can play with. So, and a big thing of water balloons. So that's the inside of our card. And I just used my Snail Adhesive to adhere those pieces down. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to check my... Okay, it doesn't let me check my time. So I'm not going to know how long I've been going. So if anybody can see that, want to tell me, that would be good. I don't want to go too long. I'm not sure if I'll have enough time for the other card that I didn't finish yet or not. So we're going to put this Whisper White layer just to give that little border around for the blue. Thanks, Christy. Yeah, so we'll probably just finish up this last one and then call it a night so that I can clean up and get ready for work tomorrow. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my Snail Adhesive, and I'm just going to put this layer over to the left there. And I kind of, now that I'm seeing it with more of the pink behind it, I kind of think I want to tilt that a little bit. So I'm going to add this layer down first, and then I'm going to take Stampin Dimensionals to put, I'm I really like to have a little bit of the border around. I'm going to put Stampin Dimensionals on the back of this one. And I don't know if I have any, but I'm going to see. I think I might use some of this silver thread to bring a little bit more fun to our image a little bit there. I know that the silver is current, I believe, if I can find it. I was trying to find, I know we have cord. Metallic thread, there it is. So we do still have silver. I just wanted to make sure it was current. I know that I took out what I thought was retired, but you never know. I have so much stuff around here that sometimes something gets missed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off this last one here. And that one has some tape on there. So we're going to lift that tape up and let that last little bit of thread come free. All right, so we will take our little thread, and I'm just going to make wide fingers with it just to do one more loop. If I can find the other end to it, there we go. So I'm going to hold that and use a little piece of tape there just to give it a little bit extra shimmer. So this card came out super cute. I was very excited to use this stamp set. It came on a day that I really went from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And so I took it out of my package, and it's been sitting on the top of my desk waiting for me to use. So I was super excited. Yes, this designer series paper is probably one of my absolute favorite out of the new catalog because of how many different colors it has. The different, I'm just going to tilt that just a little bit. The different patterns that it has. I thought I would show you guys this too now that we are almost done. It has the brightest choices, I feel. And again, just like with that other designer series paper, you have the amount of solids that you can use with this is amazing. I wanted to show you, and I'm gonna have to go in my room to get it. This paper was the first one that caught my eye, and I had a friend who sells LuLaRoe, and she posted a shirt that reminds me so much of this designer series paper, so I want to show you how close the pattern is to it. Alright, so I just had to grab it out of my room there quick. So, tell me that you do not see this looking at this shirt. How crazy is that? How close those colors are. I just saw this shirt and I thought, okay, this has all of those bright new colors in it, and it reminds me so much of this paper with the navy background and the yellows and the oranges, and so I was so excited about it that I had to snag it, because it's not very often that you get to match your paper when you're crafting. So that was so fun. So I had to show you that. So those are our cards for tonight, and we are again using the P.S. You're the Best stamp set. So we used it on both of these cards, and if I have a chance tonight, I might finish out the other one that I was sort of prepping, and I can post the picture of that on the page when I get that one done. So I hope you guys enjoyed these projects and our time together tonight. If you have any questions on any of the items that I used tonight, I tried to talk through it when I was working on it, but sometimes I forget. So if you have any questions, be sure to let me know. Otherwise, you can check out my blog for other projects that I've done in the past. I'm going to try to put on a couple of new posts this week as a challenge that our team leader gave us of doing 3 blog posts for 2 weeks. And so after the month of May, I feel like I did a post a day and it was super tricky and time consuming, and June has been nuts. So I have gotten out of my habit of posting, and so I hope that I can take that challenge and have a couple of fun things to post for you guys. So I hope you have a great night, and I will see you all in 2 weeks. So have a good one. Bye-bye.